Here, talking about the big one. Xbox has its approval. It has happened. The European Competition Commission went ahead and gave the green light, and we're going to dive deep into all this because this is a huge, huge, huge moment. Crazy big moment for the whole Microsoft Activision saga that we've been.
It has been.
It's
been
pretty
like
insane.
we say the gift that keeps on giving. It's been never ending.
The gift's about to come.
It's not gifts, but gossiping gifts, right? And it's just been crazy. It's been a long road for sure, and it's time to celebrate a little bit, right? What's up, hacker? Welcome to our chat.
Something not a real hacker.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. Do you remember when, like, over a year ago, that Microsoft announced that they were buying Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, and no one would have predicted that such an epic line of events were going to lead up to the moment where they would finally make the purchase. After everything that they went through, after all the heartbreak, the drama, the Jim Ryan, everything seemed to be falling apart when the CMA shut it down and said that they could not buy him because that would make them too overpowered.
All right, so let's look at it. Let's look at it a little bit from that perspective of what led us to this very moment.
The story so far,
right? So right now we're at the approval, but if we rewind, and you do have those moments where Xbox came out the gate and they knew it was going to be a battle, right? Like they knew this was going to be a tough road. They tried to jump ahead of it, try to say, hey, listen, right off the rip. We're talking to PlayStation. We're not going to take the game Call of Duty away. We're going to keep it everywhere. So they were ahead of this, right? And we had the most crazy scenario where Jim Ryan, went ahead and came out talking background stuff that's never ever talked about.
Dude. Anyone like Jim Ryan behave in such a way, right? These things are normally kept behind closed doors, and it wasn't just that he was talking. It was the way that he was talking and coming at everything. It was, now that, madman, was the gift that keeps on giving, because it was situation after situation, tantrum after tantrum, and he kept me excited though. I wanted more, I like Crazy Jim.
Absolutely.
Shintaro, welcome.
Shintaro, what's up, man? How you doing, bud?
How are you? Welcome.
So Jim Ryan kind of broke the fourth wall for us, gave us a peek behind the scenes, let us know that the deal that Phil Spencer offered them wasn't legit, didn't give them what they wanted. All the evil shit
that Phil Spencer did.
So, all right. So,
yeah, basically.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so after that, basically the CMA, they shut it down.
All right, no. So that's Jim. It didn't go to Sim. All right. So Jim Ryan went ahead, aired out all the dirty laundry, and then there was this whole back and forth between them, right? Like it was shots between Phil Spencer, between Jim Ryan, PlayStation fans, Xbox fans. Everybody was going crazy.
Everybody was losing their mind. And I have to say, kudos, because I think the person that held themselves together the most was Phil Spencer.
He did.
He was very composed. He behaved like a professional, like a gentleman. And, he just kept dealing with the facts, not with the jabs.
Dang, that was good.
Absolutely. So now, after all that time of them preparing and talking to the different bodies, because remember, there's a lot of different government bodies in the world that they were trying to get approvals from, right?
Yes.
I think Phil Spencer said, 19 or 14 were 19, the major ones? 19.
That were already approved, I believe.
No, I think 19 total. 14 were
yes,
already
14 approved.
Okay, so 19 different markets. They're going all over the world. They're trying to get everybody to see that this deal makes sense. And it boils down to basically everyone approved it. Okay? The only ones were the major ones that we were wondering what was going to happen, which was the US, the CMA, which is the UK, and the European Commission, right?
Agreed.
So those were the three that everybody's eyes were on, and we were just kind of wondering what's going to happen. Is this going to go through? Now, I always believed they're going to go through. What did you think?
Listen, I believed it was going to go through, okay?
I thought it was going to go through too.
And then I think the situations, it was like such a roller coaster because as Phil will come out and he would be so confident, it gave me a lot of confidence with what was happening. He was like, yeah, you know, we got denied, but we're going to keep at it. We're going to do what we got to do, and we're going to make this happen, right? They had freaking everybody going. And the situation was that then as he started rewarding the whole thing with, you know, Activision is not the main plan, is part of the plan. But I think he did that just to reassure everyone that they have a bigger plan in mind. That because a lot of people jumped up talking about how if this deal doesn't go through, then Xbox is over. Xbox will never make another game. Halo is done. No more Xbox. Like, are you kidding me? Call of Duty, it was the root of freaking Xbox and Microsoft. Like, we're talking Microsoft, you guys.
Well, that's what Jim Ryan took his stance. Like, if they had Call of Duty, PlayStation was done. They're dead. There's nothing left without Call of Duty. And that all their awards from Naughty Dog and Japan Studio and shit and Santa Monica, that meant nothing. Unless it was Call of Duty on their platform, it doesn't matter.
Well, that was his tantrum. He was trying to say, Jim Ryan, to try to get them on board and to have them take the, you know, his side and PlayStation's side. He said, if Microsoft, if Xbox, if Phil Spencer walks out of here with Activision, they will have Call of Duty. And without Call of Duty, we are nothing, right? Essentially is what he was saying, which was a horrible statement to make when it comes to the people that make his games, Naughty Dog.
The studios.
Come on, his studios.
His amazing studios.
His amazing studios. Let's not play stupid and act like they don't make freaking amazing games. There's a reason why PlayStation is
on the top of the food chain in the
right?
video game market.
PlayStation does as well as they do for a reason. And I think the biggest deal was that for me, if I were working for Jim Ryan, not that I will stop taking that paycheck, you know what I'm saying? But I will feel very offended and discouraged with the way that he phrased the things that he was saying.
Absolutely. And it is crazy, Shintaro, to think that this guy really just let the nonsense come out of his mouth.
Yeah, it was desperation. Shintaro, I saw you said, how am I doing? I'm doing well, baby. Welcome. I'm
Especially
so happy that you're
this
here.
News we're
yes,
doing great.
we're celebrating. This is awesome. We've been waiting. A lot of back and
this
forth.
This has been pretty crazy. This whole saga, this line of, like, it's pretty insane. It feels like it was years in the making, even though it's been a little over a year.
Exactly. That's what it feels like. It's been dragged for a while now.
So after all the crazy back and forth between Sony and Xbox and Jim Ryan flying out to these other countries to try to put a stop to this, right? We started getting some news, and the news was not good. Essentially, everything was fucking downhill for Xbox as far as this was concerned, right? Because everybody thought that the FTC in the US would be cool with this, and no. They, as soon as they got a chance to, after they did all their preliminary looking at it, they can't block it, but they sued them to block it, right? So FTC said, no, this is not good. We don't want you to do it, right? So we kept the faith, and we were like, FTC, these clowns, they have no chance, right? Because just keep in mind, in the United States, the FTC can't block you per se, but they can sue you. Yes. And they can, if they win and you still go ahead with it, they can impose fines, all that fun stuff.
Things can get dragged around, too.
Things can get dirty. But so they were the first to do it. And then the CMA.
Oh,
now, the CMA, they were the first to be like crazy with how they spoke.
Brazilian with
Like they
yeah.
were literally just doing Sony's bidding.
It did seem like, okay, so you want me to say this with what? With anger? Or how do
like
we
they were taking
how
notes.
do we state
Sony,
this,
how do you
Jimmy
want us to
Jim?
write this?
Yeah.
You know, how should we keep this? How should we put this to the people?
It really sounded in that way. Like it was just all coming from, it was kind of like Jim Ryan would say something and they would just repeat it. And it would just be like a situation where it just seemed really shady, right? And it didn't make sense because they were concerned. Their concerns were, well, what if this messes up the entire competition, right? What if there's no more PlayStation because we have said go ahead with this deal and now, Xbox takes over, right?
Yep.
We can't do that, right? It just
Absolutely.
it was Jim Ryan's song.
It
being
was
sang.
suspect from
It was-
the beginning.
it was
Everything that
shady.
was said was suspect. Nobody took that shit seriously. There was PlayStation fans, Xbox fans. They knew he was on some other shit, right? But either way, it worked because the CMA went ahead and put their preliminary block on it, right? And then the Europe, we were kind of watching them, and they were kind of in the background, just
Yes.
not coming out here with crazy tweets like the CMA or anything like that. But they were there. They did say they were going to their phase 2, which they were going to look deeper. So this is the thing: CMA came out about a week or 2 weeks before they gave the official announcement what their decision was going to be, and they went ahead and changed the complaint.
They did, which was, for me, it was like, okay, we're going to drop this nonsense we've been
Because
riding.
they knew they were going to lose.
Okay, and I thought they had actually come to their senses.
It
And
felt
I
like they had a
think
change of heart, and it's
Yeah.
weird because I really thought nothing could possibly go wrong. Yeah, and they managed to have some bullshit to explain why it was the worst decision humanity could have ever made.
No, so
to let Xbox
they
do
said
it.
that they're dropping the console complaint. So they acknowledge that Microsoft buying Activision will not
it's not
affect
going to
Sony.
ruin
It's not
PlayStation,
gonna
you
destroy
guys.
them. They will survive. Even if the game wasn't on the PlayStation, they would survive.
And they
all
were
that fun
pretty
stuff.
much cornered to do this, to kind of say these things because, like, it was really bad. They were looking really shady. We have Phil Spencer handing over because another complaint from Jim was that, they were going to make it exclusive. And we have Jim Ryan handing him, what did he start with? A 3-year deal? Then he moved on
Phil
to
Spencer?
to give in to PlayStation, to Jim Ryan.
Yeah, it was a 3-year
a
deal
to
then
that
a
they
10-year
will have.
deal, and
Yes.
Jim Ryan kept saying no.
No.
Then we found behind the scenes
That he had a tantrum,
Jim
you guys.
Ryan told them that he doesn't want a new Call of Duty deal. He wants to block the merger.
The merger.
Okay, so that's what he wanted to do. And
I think that was the last thing.
Yeah, that was the last thing he
the
said.
last
and that was
tantrum
it.
that they were like, okay, we can't keep going on with you, and seem like we're doing something
exactly,
right and
exactly.
fair.
So they went ahead, okay, and made that change of heart, and it really gave everybody some hope. Like, oh wow, look at the CMA actually coming around. And then they made it clear at the end, the very last little part of it, all those pages they wrote. The last little part was, we still haven't made a decision on the cloud gaming aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which kind of reference to the fact that this is what we're going to hang on to now. This will be our new
It's
Yeah, but, we
foreshadowing.
didn't, but that's not what we were looking
yes,
at, and
no,
that's the thing, because
we
it was so
focus
small
on everything
at
else.
the end.
Yeah, it was just a
They
nice
were
little
like, hey,
sentence.
we're still figuring out the cloud thing, but everybody thought
listen,
this made
let's
no
put it
sense
this
because
way.
there's no cloud thing.
If you guys look at the screen right now, this is what we heard when they said that. When they put out that statement, everybody brought out either if you drank champagne or freaking Snapples, water. We were popping.
We
you know
thought
what
it
I'm
was going
saying?
to be good with the CMA, and then they sucker punched us
Yeah.
because they announced that they're blocking the deal. And
Dang, that
they're
was a plot
blocking
twist,
the
bro.
deal over the cloud gaming market.
Which is ridiculous because Phil has 10-year deals with
other
Cloud
ones, right?
everybody
gaming.
else.
But this
the
is
companies,
the thing.
bro.
We remember when they make this decision that they're going to block a company from doing business in their country, right? Which is what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
If they block that deal, then they're saying we don't want you to do that type of business here, right?
Mhm.
So they're out here just blocking it, right?
Yeah.
Saying, hey, it's not going to happen based off of cloud gaming. Now, Xbox, the numbers came out.
Yes.
Xbox has 5,000 the capacity to
Yes.
have 5,000 players at any given time in the UK.
In the UK, yes.
5,000 people.
So this is
They're
what
going
we're
to block a
fighting
$69
over.
billion
60 guys, let's say that
merger.
again. Say that again.
$69 billion
Can you
merger.
say it in slow motion? How much?
69 billion.
There you have it.
dollars.
There you have it.
Yo, $69 billion, okay? Because of 5,000
Yes.
concurrent people. Now, this is the other funny thing. After the deal was blocked, the next day, Amazon made a deal with Fortnite to do cloud gaming in UK.
What?
Those
And
dicks.
that's, it is a lot of money, Shintaro. If we had that money, we would be sitting pretty.
Yes, for sure. And by the way, that slow motion was on point.
Thank you. That
That was
wasn't
on
digital,
point.
guys. That was just me.
That was
me.
that was C.
Bro, Jeff Bezos could probably just buy the Activision and fucking Fortnite if he wanted to.
Well, obviously, so can Microsoft. That's what they're doing. But yeah, so Amazon made a deal with Fortnite to bring it to their streaming platform, Luna, and they're giving it to everyone in the UK.
Wait, Luna's still going?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought that died.
So they're giving it to everybody in the UK. So and they have 18 million people
In the UK.
in the UK using Amazon Cloud.
That's a lot more.
That can use it.
Yes.
Right. So they
Yes.
open it up to all those people free. Boom, right off the rip. You want to play Fortnite? Just go into Amazon.
We
Done.
didn't even hear about this. This just happened.
Just
smooth.
Happened. Yeah, happened
Nice
right
and
after,
smooth.
Right after.
Now we've been hearing about the situation with Xbox for over a year.
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So they went ahead and blocked the deal. Okay, no conversation. No, hey,
We're thinking
this is
about
what you
it.
need
Let's
to
put a
do
pin
to
on it.
not have it blocked.
Show us some receipts. None of that.
Absolutely, right? Nothing. They just went ahead and blocked it. Okay. So now, fast forward, after that deal, we were like, all right, well, the last hope is the European Commission, right? Like they're the only ones left who are of big enough importance that they could either sway it either way, right? Because so far you had 2 strikes, right? Like the third strike, they would have been out. If Europe said this is blocked, then there was nowhere else for them to go. You know what I'm saying? Like there was nowhere else for them to go.
Agreed.
So
For sure.
we were hearing rumblings that Europe wasn't going to follow the CMA.
Paige, my love, welcome.
My Hero Academia edits. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, you changed your name.
Just change your name.
Welcome.
What's her name?
So
What is it?
So the European Commission, we've heard rumblings that they weren't going to go necessarily the same way as the CMA. We heard that there was chance that they were going to approve it. But we also kind of heard the same crap, about the CMA when they first changed their mind. So it was like, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
So lo and behold, okay, we're back. We're here today. Today's the day.
No joke,
Day
guys.
that will live in infamy. Well, maybe not. But at least I would say this would be the turning point, right? Like this is the moment that we're going to be able to say, holy crap, this is when it all changed. So the European Commission went ahead and announced that they are approving the Microsoft Activision merger with some conditions that they have to meet. So I'm going to read this so we have it all legit.
Full understanding.
Okay? We want to know exactly what took place. All right. So mergers.
Guys, do us a favor. Press that like button.
Yes, hit that like button.
Thank you.
Blessing, what is good?
Blessing, welcome, love.
Oh my
Blessing.
God. Hey, I'll be back on in a while. Damn it, Blessing. Tiger, what's good?
Tiger, what's up?
Tiger roar.
Oh, man. Blessing now, she stays in the background and then just says, hey, I'm leaving. Instead of say hi, Blessing. All right. So let's get to it, right? This is important. What's up, Tiger? What's up, fam? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping by. This is a big deal.
Hit that
All my
like
gamers
button,
out
you
there,
guys.
hit the like button. This is
And
a
comment.
big deal, especially for us Xbox fans.
The future of the Activision acquisition. No, wow. The Microsoft Activision acquisition deal is bright. And honestly, this is pretty exciting.
All right, so they went ahead and they posted their approval here, right? So mergers, commission clears acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, subject to conditions. Okay. The European Commission has approved, under the EU merger regulation, the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. The approval is conditional on full compliance with the commitments offered by Microsoft. The commitments fully address the competition concerns identified by the Commission and represent a significant improvement for cloud gaming as compared to the current situation. Okay, so let's stop there for 1 second.
Yes.
Right? Because I don't know. All right, so I don't know if you guys are aware, but Europe obviously is, a huge country that's made up of a bunch of different countries, right? So Europe is a continent, right? So the UK recently, that was that big thing that happened not too long ago, had Brexit, right? Where they basically wanted to leave the European kind of commission, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to be their own thing. They felt that they were so amazing that they should be their own little place. That's like if California said, you know what?
I'm sick of this.
I'm sick of this United States. Okay? We're doing our own thing. We're our own country now, right?
Did you know that South Carolina did in fact try to disconnect from the United States a while back? Like in
That's
the 1700s?
super dope. I did not know that at all. Excuse me. So that's what the UK did. So the CMA is their own little beast now. So I think when I read this, especially that last place, it's a little shot across to CMA by saying that everything that Microsoft committed to fully addresses the competition concerns identified by the Commission and represent a significant improvement for cloud gaming as compared to the current situation. Whereas the CMA blocked this
Because
saying
of the cloud gaming.
the cloud gaming is going to be ruined if Microsoft joins. Obviously, we know that's full of crap, but that's what they said. So the European Commission took their first shot right there. Okay, today's decision follows an in-depth investigation of the proposed acquisition of Activision by Microsoft. There's a lot of altogether. As always, the Commission has based its decision on hard evidence and on extensive information and feedback from competitors and customers, including from game developers and distributors, as well as cloud game streaming platforms in the EU. The Commission's investigation, right?
Take a quick pause right
Sure.
there. Go up. So the fact that they are making it a point to say hard evidence,
Yes.
like we actually
Like,
paid
we
attention.
actually did our job.
We did our research. All right,
We did our
we are approving it.
Absolutely.
You know,
based off of all the facts.
the facts
that we
all
can
right?
actually
not
have.
emotional drama or whatever else is going on, but facts.
Exactly.
Like they
So-
weren't trying to be silly or mess around here. They were
Yeah.
like, bro, we are gonna solve this problem. The injustice served to Xbox like this is gonna make everything better in the end.
I agree.
Absolutely. So today's decision follows an in-depth investigation of the proposed acquisition of Activision by Microsoft. Both companies develop and publish games for PCs, consoles, and mobile devices and distribute games for PCs. Microsoft also distributes games for consoles and offers the Xbox console along with a wide range of products and services, including the PC operating system Windows. Activision's game portfolio includes famous franchises such as Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and Diablo. The commission's preliminary investigation, okay, so they're going to tell us what they thought happened before they came to this decision, right?
Mhm.
So this was their first kind of findings. The commission's preliminary investigation found that Microsoft could harm competition. One, in the distribution of console and PC video games, including multi-game subscription services and cloud game streaming services. And two, in the supply of PC operating systems.
Obviously, they're referring to like Game Pass and
Windows and all that
Windows
stuff.
and
So the commission's in-depth market investigation indicated that Microsoft would not be able to harm rival consoles and rival multi-game subscription services. At the same time, so this is what they found
yes,
now.
this is the conclusion
This is
of
what
everything
exactly.
they looked into.
So
The
I'll say it
conclusion
again.
is this.
The commission's in-depth market investigation indicated that Microsoft would not be able to harm rival consoles and rival multi-game subscription services. At the same time, it confirmed that Microsoft could harm competition in the distribution of games via cloud game streaming services, and that its position in the market for PC operating systems would be strengthened. Okay, so let me make this clear here because it took I when I first read it, I was like, wait, I didn't quite understand.
Mhm.
So they are looking at cloud in two different ways.
Mhm.
You have the cloud gaming that you're getting from multi-game subscription services,
Yes.
like Game Pass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they're looking at straight up cloud gaming services like GeForce Now.
Yes.
So, Shintaro, doing great, man. You know I love my Xbox, so this is phenomenal news for me. 'Cause I'm in a good mood. So the difference being Game Pass, if you're subscribed to it, you get a whole bunch of games for free and you could just play it online, play it wherever you want, play it on cloud, whatever. When you do a GeForce Now, you cannot stream a game that you do not own.
Dang.
Okay. Meaning you had to, like, for instance, GeForce Now and Microsoft made that deal,
Yes.
right? But before that, like, they had to, deal with the other people. So if you bought a game on Steam, that game, if that game had a deal with GeForce Now, you would be able to play it on GeForce Now through the cloud, but you had to own that game.
Yes.
So you couldn't go to GeForce Now and buy that game. You had to go to Steam, buy the game,
And then stream it.
And then stream it. Okay. So that's the two separate things they're looking at here. They're looking at game streaming through the the services aspect of it, like a Game Pass. And then they're looking at it like, how can you play your individual games through the cloud?
Yes.
Okay.
And plus,
So
when you try it,
Go ahead.
you have to buy the games digitally too. If you have them physically,
Yeah, it has
most
to be
90% of
digital.
the time it's not going to work out for
Has
you.
to be digital. So they already found that there's no problems with the console market
Mhm.
or the subscription services. Like that's safe. They're only focused on the individual cloud market. So, and they're going to dive deep right here. All right. So in particular, the commission found that Microsoft would have no incentive to refuse to distribute Activision's games to Sony, which is the leading distributor of console games worldwide, including in the European Economic Area, where there are 4 Sony PlayStation consoles for every Microsoft Xbox console bought by gamers
That's a lot.
Dang.
4-1,
bro.
4-1. So for every
Jeez.
4 PlayStation owner
Sold.
that
Only
sold, there's
Xbox
one
who gets
Xbox.
sold.
That's crazy,
Dang.
That's wild. And they were crying, bro.
right?
And
But
they were
this
crying.
was
The CMA
this was
is
all
letting this
for
shit fly.
that. This was all a show, obviously trying to get their way, and that's why I call it a tantrum. I always end up calling it a tantrum. Shintaro, thank you so much. Shintaro,
That's
like the stream.
wild.
We appreciate it,
Yes,
Shintaro.
thank you guys so much. So that's wild. That blows my mind. Just that alone would make CMA's decision so freaking stupid, right? But they continue. Even if this I say is the damning of the CMA's decision and the nail in the coffin for all future arguments, right? Even if Microsoft did decide to withdraw Activision's games from the PlayStation,
Oh.
this would not significantly harm competition in the consoles market.
Woo! Now, they didn't even have to say that, but they did.
Oh, they did. They wanted.
They did.
are
They want to
coming
make
at the
things
CMA.
very clear.
They're coming at the CMA 100%. So-
This is personal.
Yeah, for sure. Even if Call of Duty is largely played on console. Oh, this is a fun fact. It is less popular in the EEA than in other regions of the world, and is less popular in the EEA within its genre compared to other markets.
Damn.
Therefore,
Ooh.
even without being able to offer this specific game, Sony could leverage its size,
Yo.
extensive games catalog, and market position to fend off any attempt to weaken its competitive position.
They are going
That
hard. They are going
That was
hard
beautiful,
on the
bro.
That is
fact.
clap worthy.
Listen, because they're making it very clear that PlayStation is a lot more successful than Xbox over there.
Yeah.
Right? A lot more. For them to come and say this, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're
This
not
is
messing around.
wild,
They're
bro.
not.
They're not messing around. They're not taking any shots. Hey, Carmel, welcome back.
Carmel, welcome,
Carmelli.
baby. Evan.
Carmel.
Evan's back.
Yes, Evan. So, even without this transaction, this is another huge point. This is
By the
why
way,
they
Call of
separated.
Duty got a little slapped up over there too, by the way.
Yeah. Putting
All
a little
right?
shade on it. Like,
All
you're
right?
not that big.
You're not
Just a
that big
little
of
Let's
a
calm
deal.
down.
Let's
We're
calm
soccer
down.
fans over here,
Yeah.
not Call of Duty fans. All right. Even without this transaction, Activision would not have made its games available for multi-game subscription services, as this would cannibalize sales of individual games. Therefore, the situation for third-party providers of multi-game subscription services would not change after the acquisition of Activision by Microsoft. Finally, someone freaking said it. Activision was not going to do it. If Xbox doesn't buy them, no one's getting the games in any subscription service. So the fact that Xbox spending $69 billion and then taking that game and putting it exclusively in their subscription service, I mean, welp. You know what I'm saying? Welp. Like, that's what they're doing. They're
It's
buying
fair,
it.
bro. But I think it's so stupid. Like, obviously, something like Minecraft, like which is already on multiple platforms, makes sense. But what makes them think they're gonna spend billions of dollars just to keep things exactly how they were before? Like, that's literally stupid.
The game's going to be everywhere, but the point is that they don't have to give it to PlayStation Plus or any other subscription service.
Yes.
They will let you buy Call of Duty on Xbox, on PC,
On
on
PlayStation.
PlayStation, wherever you buy the game.
And
You
listen.
can then take that game and go to a cloud gaming service of your choice and play it there over the cloud
Yes.
for no extra cost outside of whatever the service that you want to go use is charging you.
And let's not forget that they also have a 10-year deal with Nintendo. So
Yeah, they do.
Nintendo's probably gonna get so much. Xbox is gonna be crazy.
And they were gonna have a deal with Valve, right? I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah,
Valve.
well, Steam, but Steam doesn't want a deal.
Well,
Steam,
they don't
Steam
even
trusts
want to
them.
because they know that they're just gonna do it. Which,
Yeah, they trust them. So
that's on their. That's good for their side, you know. It helps
Real
their case.
quick, Shintaro, thank you for telling me because I didn't see it. And I want to give a shout out to Shintaro's uncle Xavier. Okay,
Xavier's a
Shintaro,
good name.
it's a
Good
great
for him.
name. And Shintaro told him about our channel.
Nice,
So
super cool.
super
Appreciate it,
awesome.
brother.
Thank you, Shintaro.
Also,
Spread the
Carmel,
word.
Slendrina Asylum.
Oh,
we will be doing
figured
that
it
tomorrow.
out, Evan.
We
yes.
know how to do it, so we will
Just
be
for
doing it
you,
tomorrow.
love.
Is it Never Have I
Just for
Ever or
you.
no?
Absolutely.
Is it Never
All
Have
right.
I Ever?
No. All right. So we are going back to this.
Hacker's
right?
a Call of Duty fan, and I think
For
he
sure, for
plays
sure.
on PlayStation because he said he doesn't. He's not into
No,
Xbox.
he said he has Xbox.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought. But
Good.
okay. So now this is where they want to be clear here. The acquisition would harm competition in the distribution of PC and console games via cloud game streaming services, an innovative market segment that could transform the way many gamers play video games. Despite its potential, cloud game streaming is very limited today. The commission found that the popularity of Activision's games could promote its growth. Instead, if Microsoft made Activision's games exclusive to its own cloud game streaming service, Game Pass Ultimate, and withheld them from rival cloud game streaming providers, it would reduce competition in the distribution of games via cloud game streaming. If Microsoft made Activision's games exclusive to its own cloud game streaming service, Microsoft could also strengthen the position of Windows in the market for PC operating systems. This could be the case should Microsoft hinder or degrade the streaming of Activision games on PCs using operating systems other than Windows. Okay, so this is what we were talking about, where they're seeing it as a separate thing, right? They're saying that they want to make sure that the cloud Game Pass Ultimate version of the cloud, so Xbox's cloud, is not the only place that you can play these games.
Yes.
Right.
That they make it available for
Absolutely.
everybody.
Absolutely. So now they put the proposed remedy. So this is what they told Microsoft. If you do this, we're Gucci, right? If you do this, we're good. And you satisfied everything that we need, right? So the proposed remedies to address the competition concerns identified by the commission in the market for the distribution of PC and console games via cloud game streaming services, Microsoft offered the following comprehensive licensing commitments with a 10-year duration. Okay. A free license to consumers in the EEA that will allow them to stream via any cloud game streaming services of their choice, all current and future Activision Blizzard PC and console games for which they have a license. Okay, so a license. We're gonna break that down so we can make sure we're on the same page. A corresponding free license to cloud game streaming service providers to allow EEA-based gamers to stream any Activision Blizzard's PC and console games. Okay, so this is very important to understand because this could be misconstrued. All right, Paige. Thanks for hopping in, and we appreciate it.
Love you,
around
Paige.
town.
Have a
See you on the
beautiful
next
night,
one.
my love.
So this could be misconstrued because somebody could think that, oh, now Xbox is getting like some bootlegged version of this. This is not Xbox's stuff. Now everybody's going to have it.
Yes.
No. Okay. This is not their games are just going to be everywhere, like on PlayStation or wherever.
It's gonna
right?
be like the multiplayer stuff for the side stuff. will
No,
probably be on
no, it's all any and all of their games. They're gonna do this, but it's wherever Xbox sells the game.
Hmm.
So there's nothing saying where Xbox has to sell the game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said you have to put this on PlayStation. Matter of fact, they already said that PlayStation, if they take
It's
it
not
on PlayStation, it doesn't
necessary.
matter.
They don't even care.
So it does not matter so Xbox doesn't have to put the game in any place they don't want to. The only thing they have to do is if they release a game and it's going into their cloud game subscription, every single person who buys that game needs to be able to go anywhere they want that has a streaming platform
and be able to play.
and be able to play it through streaming
Yes.
over the cloud. Okay. So in that case,
Which is beneficial to the consumer.
exactly.
Obviously.
So theoretically, there could be a situation where Xbox says, we're not selling the game on PlayStation anymore. But PlayStation fans, if
Mhm.
you come and buy it on Xbox or on Steam or on Good Green Man Gaming or wherever, whatever storefront you want that's not PlayStation, you could go and then play it on your PlayStation through the cloud
yep.
streaming.
Yep. Dude, that's
so
dope.
they can take the sell away from PlayStation if they want.
So they
and
make clean
Be
money.
able to do that. Isn't that crazy?
Basically.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
freaking
pretty
dope.
wild.
That's
pretty
wild.
crazy.
It's a huge thing. Plus, the second part is that they're letting all the game streaming services that are trying to compete now have that's fair.
That's fair. That's a fair shot. And it's also fair, again, to the consumer. I feel like they did their research. They're covering, they checked everything out. And then on top of it, they're realistically, like, this sounds like no bullcrap. They're really looking out for the consumer, which the CMA stated, but it just didn't add up, right?
But it's in plain sight. There's nothing
Exactly.
like it's not like they're doing so late. It's not like just fine print, you know.
Well,
Like,
they
it seems
didn't,
pretty
they
laid
didn't
out.
offer a way to fix their problem with the deal. They just said, you know what, we're good, and that's it. Whereas the European Commission, they see that this is a good thing. They just want to make sure that it doesn't lean too far in one direction where Microsoft can get, pumped and be like, we're out.
Yeah,
right?
I get that.
So that being said, this also is only mention of time is for that 10 years, by the way.
Correct. Which means that after the 10 years, they can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
They are free to do whatever they want.
Exactly. So we're going to read this right here. But before we do, I have to point out, everybody's in the chat. Everybody's looking for Doodle and looking to see how was Doodle's Mother's Day.
Thank you, you guys. Hacker, Shintaro, I had an amazing Mother's Day. I had the best time
It was
with all my
dope.
kiddos and my hubby. It was perfect. And guys, thank you so much for caring.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. And I'm grateful for you guys wishing me a happy Mother's Day.
That's right.
But
That's a very
yeah,
nice thing, guys.
I had the best time.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you. And
Yeah, it was
listen,
nice.
Shintaro, you don't, I saw you talking about basketball. You don't want to see me with a b-ball. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see me
She'll dunk
with a b-ball.
on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
I mean,
Just saying.
she can't reach,
No.
but she would
I'll probably miss. but-
just touch nothing but air.
She's
You know what I'm
literally
saying?
Michael Jordan's nightmare.
But she'll make you feel like she did some shit, and that's the reality right there. All right, let's get back to this. Right, so today, Activision Blizzard. Oh, this is just kind of reinforcing it here. Today, Activision Blizzard does not license its games to cloud game streaming services, nor does it stream the games itself. These licenses will ensure that gamers that have purchased one or more Activision games on a PC or console store, or that have subscribed to a multi-game subscription service that includes Activision games. Let's check that out, right?
All right.
Specifically saying Game Pass, because nobody else is going to get it.
Exactly.
Have the right to stream those games with any cloud game streaming service of their choice and play them on any device using any operating system. The remedies also ensure that Activision games available for streaming will have the same quality and content as games available for traditional download. Now,
This just keeps getting better.
it's amazing. Now, guys, real quick, if we think about this, real talk for a second, right? We have a lot of people who we're super cool with in our chats.
Yo,
who
where?
like gaming.
By the way,
What's up?
Hacker wants to know if we are dating.
Oh
Well,
my god, bro.
You can call it dating or being married
Thank you, Paige.
for a
Just
long
like
time.
they're
And
married.
I don't know how I ended up being a clown at some point.
At some point, you
by
were
Shintaro.
you were claimed to be a
But-
clown. Yes.
I'll take that. So, but we do have a lot of amazing people, right, that we hang out with on all of our streams, right? And a lot of them are either gamers who played a while ago, gamers who are
Yes.
gaming now, but maybe still playing on older systems. You know, cloud gaming, if more broadly available, allows people to play these next gen, higher fidelity games without having a PlayStation 5 or
Next like Series
or
X
having
or
a Series
S.
X or S or a high end PC or anything like that, right?
Agreed.
So that's why this is important. And I'm glad that the EEA is taking those steps to protect the
and I
people
appreciate that.
who
Yes,
are going to benefit from this the most. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. I agree,
So-
100%.
I'm glad that they're doing this. And that's the thing with the CMA. If the CMA just said, hey, we're going to make sure that Xbox does specific things so that you're protected, that's different. But they're not. They just try to shut it down like a punk ass, toddler who's
Yeah.
like crying, like, I don't want you to do this,
Well,
and I'm out.
that's the thing. It came off like such a it was it was really annoying, the entire situation. It was dragged for so long. We knew, like, listen, if you knew from the beginning you weren't gonna give it the time of day, like, just shut it down right away. Why drag it? You know?
Because they can't.
It feels more
right?
like an
'Cause they have a
emotional decision than a
government-
logical decision.
Yeah, they have a process that they have to follow per their government, guidelines, right? So I'm not a clown, Shintaro, but that's fine. Listen, so these commitments fully address the competition concerns identified by the commission and represent a significant improvement for cloud game streaming compared to the current situation. They will empower millions of EEA consumers to stream Activision's games using any cloud gaming services operating in the EEA, provided they are purchased in an online store or included in an active multi-game subscription in the EEA. In addition, the availability of Activision's popular games for streaming via all cloud game streaming services will boost the development of this dynamic technology in the EEA. Ultimately, the commitments will unlock significant benefits for competition and consumers by bringing Activision's games to new platforms, including smaller EU players, and to more devices than before. This is the
Drop
part
a
that
mic, bro.
this is the part that it's so stupid that they don't want to see. If Microsoft has Call of Duty, all this stuff that they could put into their subscription services that they know people are going to want to do, like want to subscribe to
Yes.
get the cloud version, then they can say, okay, let's invest more. Let's make it so those small European countries have the ability to cloud stream, right? Let's put our data centers all over EU. because now we have these huge games that people want.
That people want to play, right? This is really good for the streaming services, right? And it's just gonna I said it before, it's just gonna open up, first of all, the whole gaming industry, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot more competition, right?
Mhm.
And stop having it like summed down to like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo.
Agreed. Absolutely. It's really just a huge benefit across the board. And I'm so happy that the EA took the time to actually like see it, put the actual attention to it and make sure that
And it's
they give it
obvious
its
by
due.
the way that they're going into details about everything, right? They did the work, they put in the work, and obviously they have something to say about it,
Absolutely.
because we were the CMA was out, this was so public, and it was like they didn't even have the numbers yet, right? And Phil Spencer said that they're providing them with all the numbers. This was before they shut it down. And it's like, why is this out here? Just do what you have to do, and then we'll hear about it.
Well,
You know?
normally this type of stuff is not like this, but they wanted almost like it was like a public trial. You know what I'm saying? Like they thought that they were going to crucify Xbox in front of everybody. So they wanted to make it like,
See,
put it out
that makes sense to me because of the way that it was handled.
and I think
And
Sony thought that it was going to go down.
I think
Sony
it was
pushing
gonna.
the agenda.
They thought it was gonna be a very embarrassing shutdown.
Notice that Sony hasn't said a fucking
Not a
thing.
word. Not a word.
Nothing.
So
So, other thing to keep in mind, again, this whole thing's been focused on Call of Duty, right? Like that's what everybody is so concerned about. But you got to remember, Activision has some huge, huge properties. Overwatch, that is a extremely relevant and popular hero shooter.
yes.
First of all, is frankly the creator or the game that made it most popular, the idea of a hero shooter. So they have Overwatch, which is played by millions of people. Now it's going to be available on cloud, right?
Of course.
Oh, Shintaro bringing up that Pixar should buy Nintendo. I said Disney
Why?
should buy Nintendo. Okay, Shintaro?
Well,
so
we
who's the
object,
clown
CMoney.
now?
We
And
object.
it wasn't. It was 50-50. All right? So step
Stupid.
back. But Overwatch, right? Boom. Huge. World of Warcraft. That's
Oh, yes.
a MMO that has been around for over 20 years. And millions of people still play
Love that game. bro.
Imagine you don't need to get your PC or have a PC that can handle it. You go ahead and you load it up on the cloud and you're done.
I mean, this will be a huge help to Game Pass too. Like so many franchises will be available now. Like that alone will get a lot more people interested.
See, Shintaro takes it back. He said he thought we said Pixar. Now he agrees with me. So now it wouldn't have been 50-50. We would have won. So
Uh-huh.
just to be clear.
Sure. We get it.
But that's a huge thing, guys. There's these other games. It's not just Call of Duty, right? They own so many other properties. StarCraft. There's just so many. Tony Hawk, Crash Bandicoot, all this stuff. It's
But
gonna be a
everything
huge
is
thing.
so focused on,
Yeah, because
Call
they
of
don't
Duty.
make anything other than Call of Duty at Activision. The other place is Blizzard. Like Diablo 4 coming out. That's one of the biggest game coming out in June.
that these are big words right here going on.
So
First
you're
of
not
all,
a clown.
you're not a clown, CMoney. Now,
Oh,
okay.
Shin, you see?
Okay, there we go.
Good
Show
man.
CMoney some love. And
Hacker, you're gonna get some
Hacker,
sleep?
he's gonna get some sleep for the
He is a
first
clown.
time. All
He's not
right.
gonna sleep. He's
Now-
gonna do it.
That's all right. We
Hacker
appreciate you,
mentioned
Hacker.
that he did sleep already.
But now
for
he's
the-
gonna get
now
some
he's
more.
gonna get some more sleep. So I'm happy that you're sleeping, Hacker. That's a good thing. That Florida, he is killing Shintaro. Yes.
Yes, it is.
But you know what? You'll get some rain.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's really hot
All
out
right.
Florida.
So let's get back to it.
Florida
Right. So you
is
have
awesome and crazy.
now they are going ahead and they're gonna do
Bye,
a
Hacker.
little tap dancing here, right? So peace out, Hacker. All right. So the commission carefully investigated the effectiveness of the remedies. collecting views from a large number of market participants and stakeholders. In particular, cloud game streaming service providers gave positive feedback and showed interest in the licenses. Some of these providers have already entered in bilateral agreements with Microsoft based on the proposed licenses to stream Activision's games once the transaction is completed. Now, let's think about this for a second. There's only so many people who are out there to talk to, right? So, like Europe talked to all these different people, and when they talked to them, it was like, this sounds great. So, if all the people that Europe talked to, CMA talked to, you got to imagine, right?
Obviously, if they're doing what they're supposed to do, right?
So if CMA, peace out, hacker. So if CMA, we will be live tomorrow. So if the CMA talked to these people, what conversations were they having
That differs from
is
the
different?
conversation that they had,
Exactly.
right? That everyone else had.
Because if the EEA can talk to these people and be like, oh wow, this is all sounding really great, let's approve this. CMA heard the same thing. We're like,
It doesn't make sense.
This sounds suspect. This doesn't sound great. Deny. So it's just that blows my mind. All right. So taking into consideration,
I have Riz. All right, goodbye.
Oh my God.
Taking into consideration the feedback of the market, the commission concluded that the proposed acquisition, as modified by the commitments, would no longer raise competition concerns and will ultimately unlock significant benefits for competition and consumers. The Commission's decision is conditional upon full compliance with the commitments. Under supervision of the Commission, an independent trustee will be in charge of monitoring their implementation. And that is it. This is just like talking about who the people are. So this is it. They laid it out. Now this will
they broke
be
everything
the
up.
blueprint that Microsoft is going to go to the FTC and to CMA.
Yes.
Because I can tell you right now, if I'm Microsoft,
Yo, yeah.
today you're getting on the phone with FTC. Hey, listen, we have the approval from Europe. We're going to close on this deal. We have all the remedies that they want us to do. We agree to them. We will offer those remedies to you. If you want them, we'll give them to you and we can move this deal forward. If not, we're closing this deal and we'll see you in court.
Yes. And listen, maybe they're going to read this and be like, okay, what did we miss? You know?
Well, what it's
Like-
going to do is put everything that these other places are saying in question.
Of course.
First of all, everybody's giving praise to the EEA only because they're the big one. But again, let's keep in mind, 14 out of the 19 already agreed
Yes.
to this. All the other countries in the world see what EEA just said.
The
Yep.
CMA.
No one else is putting any restrictions. Actually, the EEA is going harder than anybody else because everybody else just said, nah, y'all good.
Yeah,
Just
literally.
sounds
They
great.
didn't break anything down. They were just like, all right, sure.
You know, the Brazil was the first one to break it
Mhm.
down.
They did.
But they broke it down saying, yeah, technically Xbox can do that, but it would be stupid.
Yeah.
So they probably won't.
So here's your stamp of
Yep,
approval.
approved. You know
By
what I'm
the
saying?
way, real quick,
Jeez.
Shintaro, that was CMoney and my fault. Man,
What happened?
damn, you didn't answer me. I told you, how are you doing?
What's wrong?
Shintaro said hello. Man
I don't have my phone.
doesn't have his phone. And
So he
we're-
can't see the chat.
yeah,
It's not
CMoney.
personal,
The way
Shintaro.
we have it all
Yeah.
broken up over here, unfortunately, we all don't have access to it at the
We're
same
not
time.
in the same exact
So Man
area.
he can't see the chat right now.
Yeah. So that's on us, Shintaro.
Yeah, so we should have
But-
told Man.
Yeah, we
So
should have.
that
But
was- that was
in my
Doodle's
defense,
fault.
I missed it because I was,
She didn't hear me, guys. It worked out.
Very wrapped up
I
in
said it
the
was Doodle's
iconic Activision acquisition
What?
saga.
You should put this on me. Madman Shintaro is asking, "How are you doing, my love?" Well, he didn't say my. I'm saying my.
Yeah, I don't think he said that. All right. So I do want to find. There's a couple of.
Oh, so he's not gonna
There
answer.
we go.
Did
There's
you
our
answer,
homie.
Madman?
What did he ask?
Man, answer.
What did he ask?
How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about you?
Man, good thing.
How
Good
about
thing
you,
you have your
Shintaro?
phone and you'll be able to
Good thing
read
that you
that
said it.
back.
All right, you ready? We got our homie Lulu. Lulu's
They
out
are
in
the
these
same.
streets.
Wait, who's
They are the
Lulu?
same.
Oh,
Lulu
Shintaro.
Chang from
reporter. My bad.
Xbox.
My bad,
I mean, from
my bad.
Activision. Are you ready? We're gonna dive
Yes,
deep
let's
into
go.
Lulu
All
because
right,
Lulu
Lulu,
got shit
let's
to
go.
say. All right,
Now, Lulu,
what?
it works
For
for
Activision.
Activision, for
Yes.
those that don't know.
All right, so Activision Blizzard plans. Okay, this is huge. She's coming out throwing daggers right away to the CMA. You ready? Okay. Activision Blizzard plans to meaningfully expand our investment and workforce throughout the EU. And we're excited for the benefits our deal with Microsoft offers players in Europe and elsewhere. Today, the European Commission approved our merger with Microsoft, subject to strict remedies to ensure robust competition continues in our rapidly growing industry. Our talented teams in Sweden, Spain, Germany, Romania, Poland, and other European countries have the skills, ambition, and government support needed to compete globally. And with the EU's firm, yet pragmatic, unbiased, and fact driven approach to regulation, we expect these European teams to continue delivering growth and innovation going forward.
Dang, that was cutthroat, bro.
That was cutthroat.
So this is the thing. This was 150,000% straight up daggers being thrown at the CMA.
Yes,
Like,
she's like
hardcore.
Listen, obviously, she's pointing out what we mentioned. Obviously, they looked into everything, facts, right? Not bullcrap, right? Not made up nonsense. And that's what the situation with the CMA seems like to us. And Shintaro, why do you feel bad? He says, I feel horrible.
I
Damn,
guess
I feel
because
horrible.
Madman,
Oh,
Why does he
because
feel
Madman
bad?
didn't
He
have the phone.
he went in on
Oh,
Madman.
he did. He did call him a clown. He
Call
did
him a
call him a
clown.
clown and everything. I was like, damn, Madman's not even talking.
Is he ripping me on the chat? That's not cool.
No, he's saying he feels bad.
He feels bad that he did that.
Oh, well, it's alright.
So
Thank you, Shintaro. That was nice.
I'm gonna throw this into a poll
Oh,
real quick, just to see where we stand with this whole thing, because this whole thing is about cloud gaming, all this fun stuff. So I want to see: have you tried cloud gaming? Xbox cloud gaming, GeForce Now, etc. So we'll see how that goes in the poll. So yeah, so they went in on the CMA here. She went in and she's making it very known. Like, we have teams all over there. You guys are firm, but you're not biased. You're using facts. You're not out here acting a clown like Shintaro would say. Okay? You're out here doing the right thing.
You're doing your job, right?
Doing your job.
They're not just giving into, obviously, as we heard, all of their concerns and what they feel about them now, right? So obviously they did their research and they have a team there. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely. Now, the CEO of Activision, Bobby Kotick, okay, he went ahead and he sent an email to all the employees today. So let's dive deep there too. Let's see what Mr. Bobby has to say. Today, we achieved an important milestone. The European Commission, one of the world's most thorough and respected regulators, approved our merger with Microsoft. This decision underscores the benefits our transaction provides to players and to competition. Careful regulators in numerous other countries have already approved the merger. By joining them today, the EC has once again demonstrated their rigorous, fair, and sensible approach with the creation of appropriate regulatory guardrails that ensure competition in important growth industries. Microsoft has agreed to conditions as part of the EC's approval, including licenses for legitimate cloud gaming providers to stream Activision Blizzard games and enforcement mechanisms to ensure these regulatory commitments are upheld. This important step provides a proper roadmap for regulators around the world to consider when determining how best to encourage and promote competition in the gaming industry. There is still work to be accomplished before our merger can be finalized, but it is encouraging that regulators like the European Commission understand and appreciate the considerable growth opportunities provided by our industry. Thank you for your patience as we work to promote fair, free trade, healthy competition, and broader recognition for the extraordinary work our people do each day to entertain hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Damn.
They were dropping bars right there. That's pretty dope. All right, that's pretty dope. I like that type of basically openness with his
Yeah.
people. And letting them know that this is it, man. This was a big move, and they're giving the EEA their praise, right?
They are.
They're giving them the praise. They're going ahead and letting the world know that they did the right thing, right?
Now, do you think that there will be much back and forth with the CMA?
What do you say?
Oh, okay.
That's my question.
Say it
Like,
again.
that's what I'm wondering. Like, how now seeing all of this, will Xbox continue to just go back and forth endlessly? Meaning, if they put up a front and they're like, will they back out and be like, okay, I think we're good. We're not going to keep spending money and time doing this. Let's just move on with everything we have, right? That's the question.
Well, I have your question, and I have it answered right here. The CMA put out a response
No way.
to the approval.
Are you serious?
Oh my god.
Did
Yes.
they really? So see, so they're not that, like, they understand the fact that this was kind of directed to them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they get it.
All right.
Because
Ready?
I was questioning things.
Well, listen.
Shintaro, listen, you're in Florida, so you gotta drink a lot of water, bro. He says, I can't breathe good and I feel hot. You gotta hydrate.
Gotta stay hydrated, man. All right.
Enkudu, welcome.
I have a feeling that's Shintaro.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So, the CMA, so the Competition Markets Authority in the UK, they have their response here. So we're gonna go through it as we do. So, our response to European Commission's announcement today on Microsoft and Activision. The UK, US, and European competition authorities are unanimous that this merger would harm competition in cloud gaming. The CMA concluded that cloud gaming needs to continue as a free, competitive market to drive innovation and choice in this rapidly evolving sector. Microsoft's proposals, accepted by the European Commission today, would allow Microsoft to set the terms and conditions for this market for the next 10 years. They would replace a free, open, and competitive market with one subject to ongoing regulation of the games Microsoft sells, the platforms to which it sells them, and the conditions of sale. This is one of the reasons the CMA's independent panel group rejected Microsoft proposals and prevented this deal. While we recognize and respect that the European Commission is entitled to take a different view, the CMA stands by its decision. And you know what was the first response right underneath that?
Show me.
UK is closed for business.
The country's out of business. They're erased from history.
So when you look at this, you could break down a couple things, but this first one right here, this is one of the reasons that CMA's independent panel group rejected Microsoft proposals and prevented this deal. CMA, they have a Napoleon complex. You know, that Napoleon general, he was really short.
Yes.
So people use that because he did like crazy outlandish things that he shouldn't have done, but like to prove his worth because he was so tiny. CMA, if you look at the map, right?
Yeah.
Europe is huge.
Or they're taking
CMA
a lot
is
of
like
entitlement in this entire situation. Yes.
Remember Horton Hears a Who?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So Horton Hears a Who, the speck that lived on the flower that he picked,
Yes.
that speck
That's
is the CMA.
That's the
jeez.
CMA.
Okay. So they are so insignificantly small in the grand scale of the global market. But they're running around saying things like, we prevented this deal. You didn't prevent shit. All you prevented was people from doing business in the UK.
Exactly.
The spec.
I agree 100%. This is the future, right? And what it's happening, right, is expanding business, and it's allowing for gamers to enjoy. Like, we talk all the time about how difficult it is to have to sit there in front of a TV, you know, nowadays when you're on the move, on the go, you know, and you can't just sit there and dedicate your time to play, right? So streaming these games and being able to have access to them, not just when you're sitting at home, right? It's a huge deal.
Absolutely.
And Shintaro, do me a favor, go get a water bottle and drink up. This guy is in Florida and he did not drink water.
Well,
all right.
You need to. So, I mean, that's just, it blows my mind when they say things like that. And then when you come over here, right, and you see Microsoft proposals accepted by the European Commission today would allow Microsoft to set the terms and conditions for this market for the next 10 years. What market? The market is Microsoft right now.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, they're talking about how this is like a free, the streaming services and all this other stuff. And it's like, yes, they're coming in to make it better, to make it so that everyone can play together.
Yeah.
It just
like
seems ridiculous.
Better.
Yes,
no one is investing
that.
in the cloud market like Xbox is. Amazon's just dabbling. They're just starting to get their feet wet. GeForce Now, yeah, they're huge, but they're not pushing it because they're literally just a place where you can play the games you own, but they're not out there pushing it like, hey, come subscribe to our GeForce Now subscription where you get to play all these games. No.
It's going to grow this whole industry. It's going to be, and again, they stated it, right? This is for the consumer, essentially. And I appreciate that, everything that was said, and they need to just open their eyes and allow this to take lead way. Just let them deal with it, bro. Approve it.
Just how much of a fool do they want to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they want to keep trying to, die on that hill where they keep treating it as if somehow they're right? Because they're not. You know what I'm saying? Talking about something like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it also doesn't. How can everyone see something that you can't? Now, listen, I understand at first, if you don't feel like this is right and maybe you did your research, you didn't fully feel that it was the thing to do. But then you see everybody else on the other side, right?
Yeah.
There has to be a moment where you, I don't know, read what they're saying, do some, reflecting and see what's going on that you're not seeing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Don't you think, Madman? Exactly.
Did Madman Mike disconnect?
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, I mean it's really a no-brainer. And again, when you go through like the comments, this is just like everyone's on the other side of this. There's nobody in there saying anything. You guys are so hurt that you didn't even check this before hitting the tweet. What did he say? While we recognize and respect that the European Commission is entitled to take a different view, the CMA stands by its decision. The UK, US, European competition authorities are unanimous that this merger will harm competition in cloud gaming.
I did wonder why they're saying, the UK, US,
well, because
and Europe. Yeah.
the EEA did say that it can be a problem with
And
the
that they're
cloud
still
gaming,
looking into
but they
it.
fixed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They said this is how it gets fixed.
So the way that they fixed it was by going ahead and stating things that need to happen, right? Like if you purchase the game for one, stream service, you should be able to access it throughout, right? So obviously, I think maybe it's the lack of wanting to compromise to figure out what can be fixed to make this work, right?
Yep.
I don't know. It's there's some bitterness going on over there.
I agree.
So maybe there are things we don't know.
Yeah, well, I honestly, we talked about it, but
And that
Sony
really
has been
sucks
super quiet about this.
It really sucks because the only people that are getting affected again are the consumers, right?
In the UK.
Exactly. Yeah, Shintaro, a madman is having a rough one. No phone. His mic's out.
Yeah, it's jacked up. It's jacked up. But listen, I mean, that's pretty much like what the deal is right now. I don't think Xbox put out a tweet about any of this. I mean, people are freaking
celebrating. Yes.
They're celebrating.
They are celebrating. So are we,
we forgot our boy. Brad Smith, he did put out something. Nothing crazy, but the European Commission has required Microsoft to license popular Activision Blizzard games automatically to competing cloud gaming services. This will apply globally and will empower millions of consumers worldwide to play these games on any device they choose. So they're essentially taking it the step further right away.
Because listen, right from the beginning, they said, okay, you want a deal? Here, sign this 5-year contract that shows you that we're not going to take the game away from PlayStation. Not good enough? Here, there's a 10-year contract. Okay, now they're hearing this and they're like, okay, we're not just going to do it here because you're asking us that is the requirement for you. We're going to do it everywhere. So it's fair. So I just, I mean, talk about, being a team player and kind of just showing like what you're really trying to do. It just, obviously there's a lot of money involved, right?
Yes.
We know that, but it just seems like they're not trying to like do anything sneaky or screw to anybody. They're just trying to get in the market, get ahead of it. They found that they can do this and they're investing in there. And obviously they're going to make a lot of money from it, but that's what happens when you put out billions of dollars to grow something.
You take the risk to hopefully get the reward. Go ahead, Shintaro. Absolutely. Put it in there and we'll take a look. But
like how many people go ahead and they take their money and they open up a restaurant or something like that? And what are they going to say? Well, no, you can't open up a restaurant where, because there are too many restaurants already.
Yeah, or like, if you want to open a McDonald's or you want to open up a Subway and you go and you buy it, and you start your restaurant that way. So it's like, oh, well, you shouldn't have started a McDonald's. You should have opened up your own burger joint and competed with them. It's like, dude, yeah, I could have done that and took years to build it and show, or I could just
Merge.
get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening here. They know that this is going to accelerate it, and they're going to close. There's no world that we live in that Microsoft gets an approval from one of the biggest regulators out there and doesn't close the deal. There's no way. You got all of Europe. I would just fucking say, okay, we won't do it here. We'll just do it in Europe.
Well,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
was my question. Do you think that this is the approach that they will take, right? Are they going to go ahead and say, all right, we're not going to just keep on going with this and delay? It's been very delayed, right? This is not the way they thought this will play out. So,
Who?
Microsoft,
Oh.
Xbox, what do you think?
June was there when they announced it last January. They said they think that this will be done by June of 2023. And it's
June
coming
is
up.
right around
It's
the
coming
corner.
up.
So how much money and time are they willing to invest?
Oh, they're going to invest anything
the
and everything they
CMA
can to make it happen. But
just to make them look, to bend that arm.
Exactly.
To bend
they're
that
gonna make
arm.
them look like fools.
Yeah, I would too.
So I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, but we're going to look at Shintaro real quick.
Yes, please.
He has a question, and he is asking about, have you ever played Crash Bandicoot? So I'm going to answer, and I will tell you my history of Crash Bandicoot. So the answer is yes. I played Crash Bandicoot right from the very beginning. Part 1, I played. Part 2, I played. Part 3, all of them. They were really, really good. But I would say that the later ones that we have recently, I don't know if you played any of them, but the later ones that we have recently have really like stepped it up, like the remake of the Insane Trilogy when they did all 3 of them, and then part 4 is really dope. Now that being said, as much as it's so, I was literally, Shintaro, you took the words right out of my mouth, bro. I literally was just about to say, I played them all, but the games are so ridiculously hard. Like stupid hard.
Which ones?
Crash Bandicoot.
dude.
Yeah, they are hard.
Like they're so hard that it's just like, what am I, like, what is this? This is like Dark Souls? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Like,
hard for you clowns.
okay.
All right?
Okay.
Doodle's in the house, and I freaking crashed it on Crash Bandicoot. All right?
You crashed.
Crash, for sure.
Which
for
is
sure.
exactly what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
bought, remember, we got the
we got the trilogy.
the collection. Yeah.
And we got part 4, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but they they take a little skill. And
Oh
we
my
just
God,
blame it on the fact that they are old school games,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And
Not our fault,
the
it's their fault.
problem really becomes a situation when you think it's saved, but then you die, and obviously it didn't, and you're back where you freaking started. And that crushes your soul.
Yes. Agreed.
That's why, what was that thing that
kicks
we
your
bought
ass.
that plays all the old school games?
The Hyperkin back in the day?
Yes, and that allows you to save as you go. So every 3 seconds
Yeah,
you
you just
save, like
save,
all those
exactly,
old school
exactly.
Mario games that you
Shintaro, I was
die.
about to say the same
constantly.
thing. She has played the game, so technically it wouldn't count, but we can just do a gameplay of it.
Oh, I see where you guys are going with this. I see the
But it'll just
mockery
be
heading my
embarrassing
way.
for us all, I think.
It would kind of be.
Yeah.
And then, CMoney will be like, yo, you gotta jump. And I'm
I'll be
like,
like,
I
jump
am
right there.
jumping.
Break
I
that
am
box.
jumping.
Grab that fruit. Stop dying.
Look that way. That way.
Why are you staring at the trees? The trees don't help
To
you.
your right. Your other right. Your other right, Doodle.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's how it'll play out for
Right
sure.
side.
So that's a little preview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just basically played it for you right
Of
now.
there you go.
We just played it for you right now.
That's
for
how
sure.
that would go down.
For sure.
Now, if you close,
Stop dying.
Listen,
Stop dying.
Give me the controller.
You want to not
Give me
die?
a
Just
shit.
don't die.
So
if
yes.
you listen, if you close your eyes and rewind and replay that part, you will be like, damn, I see them playing. I see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was basically the game.
That was
in a nutshell. We just gave you a whole thing.
And then I will just
it is
get on.
impossible not to
I will
die.
get on the chat, and CMoney will be sitting there crying and playing because he won't stop, looking on his phone to see if there's an easier way to do it. And asking
There's
us for
not an
praise.
easy- First of all, I don't
asking
go on my
us
phone
for praise.
looking for easier
All
way
right?
to do things. Okay, I've been pretty honest and
Madman
straightforward.
is back. Look, Shintaro's happy that you're back, Madman.
Yeah, I'm back in blood, bro. I'm ready.
Listen, I've been straightforward and honest. I have no
My-
desire to try to figure
I turned
shit
off my mic
out.
by accident, so
Okay.
sorry about that.
I want to go and just see the world that was created for me and kick ass or win or do whatever. I can't do puzzles. I'm not a puzzler. I can do light puzzles.
It's
But-
breaking boxes, dude, and jumping.
Yeah, that's why I don't
That's
need
not
it.
a. That's not
Yeah,
really.
you're the one who said
That's
I'm gonna be
not
looking up phones.
technically a puzzle.
Like 1, 2. What comes next? Ah, shit, you got me
Seriously.
there.
Shintaro said he played Crash Bandicoot 4 and he raged so hard that he was crying. I get it, man. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
So now
That's a lot of rage when you cry from rage.
that's a lot of rage.
Yeah.
Now, so going back to what I think is going to go down.
Tell me.
Okay. I think that this approval was the linchpin to everything going forward. They have now the ammunition they need and the real estate, like the space, like Europe is huge.
Yes.
Okay. So relatively speaking, the UK is tiny. Now, obviously, the United States is a huge, huge market, but the United States doesn't work the same way as these other countries.
Mm-hmm.
They can't stop Microsoft from doing it. They can sue them and go to court and try to make the judge force it to happen, but there's no case.
Yes.
There's zero chance that they would win. So Microsoft, this is what I personally see happening, but I've also heard other people out there with the similar kind of thought process that I have. Very simply, today's approval, they got the approval. They're like, dope. They're on the phone with the FTC and whoever's running the show over there, Lena Khan or whatever her name is, or whoever she has running, who's handling this case. On the phone with them saying, listen, we got the approval from the EEA. They gave us a list of things that we needed to do. We complied with them and they were satisfied with that.
What do you want us to do?
Well, no. They're not going to ask what they want us to do
You don't
because
think so?
they're already swung. They're already threw the dagger down at us. We're not playing nice. We're not coming to
We don't want them to, but we're talking about
Yeah.
Xbox and the way that they tend to do
no,
things.
that's they purposely waited to hear what the EEA was going to say that they wanted in concessions before doing anything. And they're not going to do any more than what the EEA offered. And the reason being is because they can't lose that case. They won't lose that case.
Yeah.
The FTC has no case. So if they go to trial, they will lose. Just what's going to happen. So excuse me, Microsoft doesn't have to play nice anymore.
It's
They
in
already
their
did it.
best interest to get it there.
They already did. They're not going to offer more concessions. This is it. This is all they need. So once they go ahead and reach out to FTC, they're going to tell them, you either accept our proposal, which was good enough for the EEA, or we're going to close this deal and we'll see you in court. That's it.
Dang.
100%. The only thing that needs to take place is they cannot lose in court.
Yeah.
There is no case. Now, the CMA. The CMA is a trickier thing, but also ultimately, like, there is a way around it, right? Because they have in writing that the CMA says in the console market, nothing's going to happen from them merging.
Yeah.
So that whole, oh, Sony's going to suffer, PlayStation's going to go out of business, all this crap, that's going to be gone.
Jim Ryan's gone fishing.
Yeah,
Gee.
that's done. So there's no argument there. So theoretically speaking, what did we already learn about Microsoft and the UK and cloud gaming? They only have capacity for 5,000 people.
Yep.
So what do? You shut it off. You don't do cloud gaming in the UK. You don't do cloud gaming in the UK. They can't say shit about what you're doing with it because they only care about the UK market.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're not in the UK market with the cloud, which nobody's using over there for them,
Yes.
they don't have to worry about slowing down the console market. Put it this way, it'll be calling their bluff. So CMA, you think that this market is going to keep growing and we're the ones who are going to ruin it, right?
Yeah, if we
So
take this
we'll just
away,
take
let's see
ourselves
what
out
happens.
of the market in the UK. We'll have our console, but there'll be no cloud streaming at all in the UK.
Yeah.
And then now, what you wanted, everybody has the ability to
go
grow,
ahead and grow and
we'll stay
compete.
out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's the
Well, I hope
what's
those
the
are
argument there?
that's the route that they take with this whole situation, right? Because I feel like they don't need this anymore, right?
They don't.
I feel like the biggest thing was, we only, and it was a lot, but we only have 14, right?
Mhm.
So,
And supposedly South Korea and China are the next ones that are going to approve it, and we should have it within the week or so. And everybody's thinking that it's leaning towards yes. Shintaro, I'm going to get to your questions, bud. Okay, I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you. Just I don't want to lose my train of thought, but I'll get to your questions. But but yeah, it's once those two go two, now you're talking about there was 19, 14, this was 15, 16, 17. The other two are United States and the CMA.
mm-hmm.
So it's done. So once we have China and South Korea, who all intents and purposes, all the signs, all the rumors, all the talking is that it's going to get approved by those two people.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that out of 19 countries, Microsoft is going to say, nah, chill, dog. We ain't going to do this because of two?
No, that's definitely not the way that's going to play out.
Especially in one that is the United States, which they're not blocked. They're just sued and they can fight it and win. CMA is the only one that in their country, their word is gospel.
Yeah.
So they don't have to unblock it. Even if Microsoft appeals it, which they will,
Mm-hmm.
it goes to this other body called CAD, right? And if they win that appeal, all CAD does is go back to the CMA like, hey, we think you should look at it again, okay? Take a second look and tell us what you think, right?
No.
And they'll either let it be or they'll block it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it is. So the CMA just depends on how much they want to be a bitch. I mean, how embarrassing would it be if Xbox goes through with this and
everybody benefits,
but them are the only ones that don't have the full exposure? And they're the only ones who'll be like behind in the cloud gaming because Xbox is not
necessary.
investing.
Let's just move on with this whole situation.
Now,
why make things so difficult? You know,
this could have been over a year ago. Honestly,
it's crazy. Now, my question to you, Doodle,
yes,
and to you, man,
okay,
is now let's just assume, for the sake of convenience here, that this is going to go through. Right? So deal's going through. and everything's good to go. Now,
Mhm.
the leftover of all of this, right, is the relationship between Sony, Activision, and Xbox.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think, remember, so far, Xbox has no deal in place with PlayStation.
No,
PlayStation
they
refused
refused. They
the
said they
deal.
don't want a deal. So it supposedly nothing matters, right?
So theoretically speaking, once the deal that they currently have expires, right? Once that happens, there's nothing that is saying that Xbox has to keep doing business with PlayStation. Now, we know that they will in some form or another, but how do you think that happens? Do you think that PlayStation takes this 10-year deal now that they see shit's falling? Like, is Jim Ryan on the
Making phone calls
phone
right now.
with Phil Spencer like,
Let me take you
yo,
out for
Philly
dinner, yo.
Phil, what's up, dog? Oh, you mad about that? Come on, man. I was just joking.
I was
just
joking, yo.
joking.
I was joking, you. What do you think, Madman?
I don't know, bro. Like this whole thing is just a little fucking crazy. Like honestly, like when I look at this deal, like it's really crazy. Like this is like a tantrum. You ever think about it? It's like when a toddler really wants something and then they just won't stop crying about it. This is the whole year plus of this whole saga. Is literally just a flip out that needs to end.
I agree,
Basically.
but I think that right now they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do next. Jim Ryan is trying to have a meeting, and obviously they don't have him out here talking, which is a good thing.
Very good.
Okay, so yes, they haven't said anything. We don't want Jimmy Jim out here in the streets
Mhm.
on a rampage again. But they are at the mercy of Activision and Xbox. And the situation is, and the reality of it is that the relationship, listen, I'm not saying that there was a good relationship,
Mhm.
but it's really shredded right now. Those bridges were burned, grenades were thrown, colors
Yep.
were shown. Like, I'm sure that even if there was a lot of back and forth before about other things and any other situations, they were handled differently. I don't think it's ever gotten to this point.
No.
So
This was public.
the biggest thing also to take into account is what is Activision going to want to do?
Well, I think Activision has made it clear.
Activision obviously wants it to go through. I think even if this thing doesn't go through, they're gonna have a bit of favoritism towards Xbox in the way that they release games or how they basically deal with their other like platforms and stuff. It's like if a Xbox won't lose completely in a weird alternate reality where this deal does not go through for real, because I feel like Activision will find a way around it and they'll have some way of being connected.
Yes,
Either
but
way.
my thing is that obviously what they want to do is make sure that the gamers get their game, right? They've made it very clear that they want this game in every freaking platform, every system there is.
Mhm.
So once this is all over, what is that going to look like? I feel like that's going to be such a back and forth because no one in their right mind will want to do business with PlayStation after how this all happened, right? And the money that it costs and the time and the back and forth, how difficult they really made this thing.
Well, you'll be surprised
But
because remember they are on top of the console food chain.
exactly at the same time, they don't want to leave anybody out.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just the terms, right? Because
Hmm.
everybody's in that boat now. But let's put a pin in this for a second because Shintaro came back. So I want to go back and answer a couple of his questions.
See,
So
Shintaro, water. There we
he
go.
did come out and he said that he never played Ninja Gaiden. but it looks so damn difficult. It is.
You
Ninja
played
Gaiden
it?
is very hard. Yes, I played it, but that was on the original Xbox. I mean, Ninja Gaiden's
Well,
an old
Ninja
franchise.
Gaiden Black.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden is an old franchise, but it became popular for the mainstream on Xbox. And that was amazing. But just like he said, difficult as fuck.
Yeah.
Super hard. I don't think I ever beat it. But
Would
it
you
was
say
fun
would you
as
say
fuck.
harder than Cuphead?
Different type of hard, but it's
About
it's
the
just
same
different type
then.
of hard.
Different type of
Yeah,
okay.
different type of
Got
hard.
it. It's Cuphead,
Um,
man. Ooh.
And then he did ask me what game did I rage the most at.
Oh, I
So
saw him write something about wait, I gotta find this because
okay,
he's
well,
about to take a seat with Madman. Okay? He
mm,
said he hit his switch or punched his switch.
oh, that's a problem.
Okay. All right. He was
That's a
so
problem.
mad. So Madman, when he was younger, used to remember when he would play his DS, he would get so upset with a game that he would bite the top, like the folding
Oh, yeah.
ones, and he will bite the screen.
Yeah.
The top. So you two need to
That's why
take
we call
several
him Madman.
seats. Yes.
I'm
And
a little
calm the heck
mad.
down. You don't break your own stuff,
Yes,
guys.
don't
You
break
don't
things.
break your own stuff.
So, but I would say one of the games that I remember raging the most at was back in the day, Need for Speed.
Really?
Oh my God. Racing in that game, I remember there was one race. I forget which one. I think it was Hot Pursuit. Okay. So the first Hot Pursuit, like back in the day when Need for Speed was first popping off. It was so damn hard. And if you lost, it was done. Like you would start all over. And you had to beat the race to progress. Like that was just it. It's not like games these days where you have choices. It's just straight up like massacre. It was so hard. And then I remember the first time when I told my mother I hated her because I was playing and I was doing a race over and over and over again. And we had to get going, but I was stressed. I was ready to go, but I was literally trying to do it, right? So I finally am getting the race going and I am in first place and the fucking finish line is right in front of me. Right in front of me. I can see it. I can see it. Nobody else is around me. The finish line is right there. Finally, I did it after so many tries. And my mother went to the console and said, I said, let's go. And turned the fucking thing off as I was about to cross the finish line. Holy shit, did I rage the fuck out? Did oh my God, rage. Yo, I lost my shit. I lost my shit. So that was the moment that always forever will stay in my mind about
that game.
losing my shit. It's the only time that it's ever happened so drastically.
CMoney tends to be a good sport, usually.
That shit was wild. For sure.
Yeah, I would be pissed too.
Yo, crazy town. Crazy town. Crazy town.
You got that, Shintaro?
Yeah. So that was the answer.
That was it. That was it. That was his rage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, going back to the whole CMA, not the CMA, the whole Sony, Activision, Microsoft triangle. I do feel 100% that Microsoft has every intent to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Okay. That's just going to happen. But what are the terms?
Exactly. I
And this
can't
is the
talk. I
thing.
think I'm in my switch.
This is the thing. He wants, Jim Ryan wants Call of Duty, right? Because he knows if they lose Call of Duty, they're gonna lose a shit ton of people, right? Shit ton of people are gonna go buy an Xbox. Okay, so they're gonna want it for sure, but the terms are gonna be the thing. And I can see Xbox doing something like, listen, you can take 10% of the sale and we'll take 90% versus the typical 70-30%.
That'll be a big cut.
That'd be a huge cut.
A pretty big cut to say the least.
I bet we will hear Jim Ryan running up in arms, shouting it out, saying, look at what they're doing to me. They don't want Call of Duty on PlayStation. Like, he would really make it very verbal. But then it would just make it a lot worse. That 10% can go down to 5%.
Yep. Doesn't change anything. Their only answer is, we're not going to take that deal and tell all your PlayStation fans who only buy a PlayStation to play Call of Duty to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Especially when they're already going to be looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're already going to be staring across at the Xbox because the Xbox is getting Call of Duty for free in the Game Pass subscription.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
And listen, I don't know, but like now more than ever, it just makes sense because with the prices of games like going up, it's just going to continue to do so. So Game Pass seems to be the answer to not spending that money.
I agree. So, I mean, in that respect, I think that relationship is shattered.
I agree.
I don't think there's anything there besides the utmost business relationship. Like, strictly like, hey,
Strictly
we
business.
need to be here because
just
we
about
gotta
the
be
money.
here,
Yep.
but like, we're
Just
not
about the
cool.
game.
Like, don't fucking, like, we're not cool. Don't talk to us.
And I wouldn't be surprised if, there may be in the PlayStation games a little bit of, disadvantages, let's say.
Well, that's what PlayStation was arguing. But I feel like this is the thing. They were making the games PlayStation first. Okay. Meaning they were making the games for PlayStation and then porting it. Right? That's what all these people are doing it because PlayStation.
I think that's going to change.
That's going to change.
I think
Xbox
that's
is going
gonna
to be like,
change.
no, you're going to make the next Call of Duty for Xbox. And then whatever happens when you port that shit over to PlayStation is whatever
It will happen.
happens. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Obviously, and as it should be, right? We don't want another Redfall situation going on with
No.
Xbox. Now, finally, some good news for freaking Xbox after the mess they had going on with Redfall and how much heat they got. So this is something to celebrate.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Shintaro, you need to calm down.
You do need to calm down.
You and Madman
and I did
and
finish,
apparently CMoney need to calm down when you guys play video games.
I did finish Need for Speed as well, which was really good.
That's a wildin' out. I'm about to call Hacker and be like, listen, you're not the only one with anger issues.
Not the only one with anger issues, but it's okay. It's okay. That's why he fits in. Low key.
Right?
We're all the same here.
Same
That's
person at
right.
the end of the day.
But yeah, guys, listen, this was a big day. If you're listening to this and you're saying to yourself, damn it, Xbox, you should not have gotten this win. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this has happened to you. But
Damn.
as the world knows it,
The true hero of the
Xbox
story.
is here to compete. And
Listen, it's fair. If they're putting out the money, they should get their freaking company and they should go ahead and do whatever they want with it. It's their money, right? If Nintendo was out there making deals, Jim Ryan's been out there and he's made his deals, right? He's made a lot of exclusives. He's got his own stuff going on. So good for him. And now good for Phil Spencer, right? Let's be
Absolutely.
fair and let's keep it freaking fair.
Come on now.
Absolutely. If you looked over here, I just saw this.
Now the
This is
question
a
is, did
list
the
of-
Dominican Republic approve this?
I don't think they gotta say. I
Uh,
don't think they
Are
gotta
you seriously?
say.
You hear
No.
this, Shintaro?
No, they didn't get a say. Neither did Puerto Rico. I mean, but they're
We're-
part of America,
yes,
so it
yes.
doesn't really count. So, but everywhere approved it, dude. Like, look at it. We talked about 19, 19, but I think when he said 19, he meant like of like the biggest
Yes.
places. But 37 countries have already approved it. The only one who hasn't approved it is the CMA. And we know South Korea and China have also not approved it yet, but they're gonna. And FTC doesn't count because they have no power, which is true. They can't stop it from happening. So, I mean, guys, this is it. This is where we're at. I'm very excited. Also, let me know let us know what you thought about this, what we just did, because we typically don't do this.
We
More like
typically don't do
discussion-based?
breaking news, like something that just happened today. We have to come and do a small podcast about it. Normally, we just talk at when we do the
When we do the
Madman
Madman
podcast.
Would you consider this
At
a
the-
Madman podcast entry or just a discussion?
It's its own entry. It's breaking news.
So it's not canon.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like the fact that this is the first time that we just jump in and do this type of thing. So yeah,
So let us
Well, we
know
did that with the
in-
Game Awards. If you want to, that was canon to the Madman podcast. So, but yeah,
I'm gonna put
this
a
is
poll
cool.
in here to see what you guys think about this. Do you like these types of breaking news streams? Just wondering, because I definitely I was so pumped. I definitely needed to talk about it.
yeah,
and
release.
who else to better talk about it with than our homies? So let us know.
Shintaro says that was a great live stream as always. Love you guys. We love you,
Thanks, Shin. We
Shintaro,
appreciate it.
and we appreciate it.
Thank you for being
That means
here.
a lot, Shintaro.
Yeah, it's a it's fun for us to do. We really like it, and I do think that this type of live stream is fun. It's a
Well, I don't think
relevant
we were
topic.
gonna go live today, and then
No,
this
no.
popped up, and we said, "Yeah, let's do it." So yeah, there were no plans. We were thinking tomorrow,
Yes.
but we were as soon as this happened, you called me or texted me,
Yeah, we
um,
need for something like this.
and we
need
kind
to-
of were talking back and forth. And then Shintaro pretty much had us make a very quick decision. We were like, all right, yeah, let's go live. Shintaro's like, are you guys going live today? He was so pumped. You got us super pumped, Shintaro.
Yeah,
We're like, yeah, let's do it.
yeah, let's do it
Yeah.
for sure.
So that was awesome.
So listen, this was super fun. Really appreciate everyone who stopped by, everybody who
Aw.
stopped by and watched the stream. If you like this type of stuff, again, do us a favor, hit the like button, share it out on your social media platforms, share it out to your friends. If subscribe if you're not, and we will catch you on the next one. So right now
Yes.
that looks like it's gonna be tomorrow night, probably around the
Same time, right? Oh,
And
man.
we're gonna do one of our community members, Carmel, aka Evan, is has
Aw,
requested a
Shintaro.
game, a mobile game, a scary mobile game, and wanted us to do it live. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna play it,
Yes.
and
Get ready because it's you know, it seems
it got
you
me.
hear that?
I did a stutter and
That's
such,
it. That's
stuttering
it. That's
and
where I'm
such.
at. I don't even want to say the rest of that sentence. I am stuck there because I'm having flashbacks of the picture I saw of the game. So
played the
if you want a little
original Slender back
preview,
in
look
the
up the
day.
game and
It's
you'll
not,
see the
was
it's
picture.
not
really
Slender
creepy
Man. It's Slendrina.
No, I understand
Man.
Slendrina, but it's you
Shintaro,
collect the
I
8
wanna-
pages. Like it's a spin-off of Slender Man, and I've had some experience with the original.
Gotcha.
So I can only imagine what this is probably.
Yeah,
Man.
I remember Slender Man being like it blew up and people were being scared of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, we
Also.
played it for a little bit as a test. Actually, you might have seen it.
Yeah, it was like
live for
a
a little bit.
2-minute recording just to
Um,
see if we can stream
And so we did
from the
figure it
phone.
out.
Yes.
So that will be going tomorrow. We'll be doing that live around the same time.
Shintaro, happy birthday. Happy 16th birthday,
happy
to your
birthday,
niece.
Shintaro.
Oh shit! You gotta tell your niece happy birthday.
I was in the middle of the sentence when
You said
you're like,
Shintaro.
what?
You said Shintaro. Happy birthday
To your niece.
Oh, that's the delay. I was like, what? What?
See,
How
there you
come
go.
we didn't
That's all
hear
I
it?
wanted. I wanted to,
Got it,
have you
got
guys
it, got it.
confused. You see,
Got
hear
it,
though
got
about
it,
message.
Understood. Listen, thanks again, guys. We really, really appreciate it. And again, we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all so
Tomorrow.
very much. And we are out.
See you guys.
Yes.
Peace.